Hey, I'm Marty Schupak for Schupak Sports. Today we're talking about T-ball, but mainly we're focusing on creativity, and I'm going to show you a few fun drills. Then I want to talk about creativity for a couple of minutes. But first drill I want to talk about, and I've showed this before, I was very ambitious when my kids were born, and I couldn't wait to get them on the baseball field. So I started creating different drills or different activities that I thought were related to baseball or softball. This is what I call the bubble hit, where I would blow bubbles in the backyard. I'd give my son or daughter a bat, and they'd have to start hitting the bubbles. Okay. If you do this, make sure though you're going to be backing up because they're going to be coming towards you. And what I recommend using, and I've always said this, I use one of these big red plastic bats, making it easier for them to hit. I've bought dozens of these over the years. They come red, they come yellow. You get them at a big box store. The other thing also, you could actually give them an old tennis racket if they could hold it and have them hit it with that. You want them to have success in a fun drill like this. I did it when my kids were like 3 to 4 years old, and they just loved it. We would use the backyard, and it was just a lot of fun. So we're going to talk about creativity in a minute, but that's one drill. Another drill I call the one bounce, two bounce drill. Now the picture shows the youngster with a glove. It could be barehanded, but I'll tell you why. In this particular drill, I like using a glove. We'll throw a ball against the wall, either a tennis ball or what I used to call a small bean. It's a rubber ball. And as I throw it, I'll yell out either one bounce or two bounces, sometimes three bounces. It'll hit the wall, and my son or daughter, your son or daughter, will have to wait till it bounces the number that you called out. Now, what I have them do at the beginning, I don't have them catch the ball. I have them like swipe the ball off the court with their glove. I found that that's more of an achievable goal than catching the ball. Okay. So this is the one bounce, two bounce. Now, if you want, you could have them try to catch the ball with the glove too. What a recommendation would be is when you start this drill, have them swipe the ball off with the glove, and then you have them take off the glove and catch the tennis ball or the rubber ball barehanded after the number of bounces. Now, when you throw the ball, you as a parent, you're going to yell out the bounces. If you yell out one bounce, as the ball bounces, yell out one, and then yell out two on the second, and then they'll have to catch it. It's a lot of fun, this drill too, and you can do it at the schoolyard. I did this. We were fortunate that I had space in my driveway. I know my wife didn't like the ball hitting against the house, but nevertheless, we did it. And this is a fun drill where it's the tennis racket hitting drill. What I did was this: I happen to have a 4-inch cinder block. Don't go out and start buying different cinder blocks for this drill. And I laid it flat, and my son or daughter would have a tennis racket. I would bounce the ball. Now, this picture doesn't show how it should be bounced. The bounce should go up in the air, and as it comes down, they'll swing the tennis racket like a baseball bat and hit it. And I'm telling you, we used to do this for hours. The tennis balls would end up in our neighbors' yards, but the kids like it. Again, it's a very achievable goal. Okay, let me go. Before I go to the next show, I just want to talk to you about creativity. We could go out and spend tons of money at any sort of store buying our sons and daughters different things for them to use. I recommend, I'm not telling you not to do that, but I want to recommend something else. I am, to me, the best things you could do are creative things with your son and daughter. And if you go into your garage or go up to your attic and you look around and you find different things and you just say to yourself, what activity can I create with my son and daughter? And I just For instance, I did this a while ago. I took a milk carton and I cut the bottom off, okay, as you see it. And what I did is I taped the top with duct tape because it's very sharp. I did it with a utility knife, and I took what I call a rag ball. It's a clean rag, and I put 2 or 3 inch masking tape over it. And I had two of these, and we were trying to have a catch with this. Okay, it kind of is a different item than a baseball glove. But the point is, you're actually doing this with your son and daughter. You're creating this, and it's quality time that they'll never forget. And remember, when your kids are young, I'm telling you, from the day they're born till they become 18 years old, it is like a blink. It goes so fast. And you, as a parent, okay, or both you parents, you're like writing a book about each one of your sons or daughters, okay? And depending upon what you do is how good is that book going to be? And the book is never going to end. And I'm telling you, if you put more creative things in there that you think of with your own mind and things that you could do with your sons and daughter, combine them with an athletic activity, they'll never forget it. I remember when I was young, I wanted a basketball rim, and I've always told the story. And instead of my dad going out and buying it, we did it in steps where we bought a piece of 4x4 lumber. He taught me how to treat it with this liquid that treats wood. We dug a hole like I think it was 18 inches. He had me put tar on the bottom. Then he bought a piece of plywood for a backboard. Not like today we have the clear fiberglass backboards. You go out and spend $1,000. We did it by hand, and it was a step-by-step process. But and then I remember the day we put up the rim. My dad wasn't that athletic, but I remember I had to tell him it was 10 feet from the rim to the ground, and he measured it. He was exact. And it stuck in my mind that we did that together. And that basketball rim, it lasted literally for about between 25 and 30 years, and it got knocked down from a hurricane. Try to be creative. You guys write your own book about your kids and make sure you combine creativity with athletics. Okay? There's going to be plenty of time for competition. Trust me. Enjoy the young years. The last drill is something my kids love, especially my two sons. I call it what do I call it? Let's see, the dive ball fielding drill, where we took a patch of thick grass in the backyard, and I would throw ground balls to either side of them, and they'd have to dive. And I would tell them, you don't have to catch the ball, just stop the ball with your body. Something like a soccer goalie or a hockey goalie, and I would use soft covered balls, and they loved this. I mean, they were literally addicted to this. And at the end of like 10, 15 minutes, they were exhausted. Okay, so that's all we have for today. And as far as resources, I would recommend if you're just starting out in sports, you might want to take a look at this book, T-Ball Skills and Drills. It's a pretty good book. It has a lot of pictures. And it goes through some basic fundamentals. Before you buy it, see if your library has it. It's in a lot of libraries. Okay, so with that, we're going to close it out and make sure you be creative. Keep those creative hats on your head with your kids. Do things together. It's quality time that they'll never forget. Until next time, I'm Marty Schupak for Schupak Sports.